Hello. Hopefully, I am not a pixelated mess today, like I was on Friday. How is everyone this awesome first week of May? We're in May. Like, what? Where did time go? Where did time go? I'm looking over. We do this every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, and we have a live chat, which is why you see me always looking over kind of to the side because I have to read all your awesome messages for those of you who are here live. If you're watching on the replay and you ever have a comment or question related to what we've talked about, there's two ways to get that answered. You can leave a comment down below, or you can come over to the Niche to Profit Facebook group that I run, and I'm kind of in there every day. So those are two ways to get help with your eBay e-commerce business. You know, it used to be like just eBay, and now it is not just eBay. It is eBay and Poshmark, Mercari, what am I forgetting? Etsy. Don't forget Etsy. And our businesses are all encompassing now. All right. Hello, 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 everyone. I see so many of you over there. Okay. And I'm not seeing any. I'm looking to see if I'm pixelated, and nobody's saying I'm pixelated. So yay. And Cherish, yes, of course, cherish.com. I gotta get busy now with all I don't want to say I've been a slacker. I've not been a slacker. But I have kind of neglected my listing part of my business just because the live sales keep me on my toes, and I don't want to get myself overwhelmed with too much shipping because making daily videos is also a full-time job. So just trying to find that balance. But I do absolutely need to get more stuff listed. Yes. Crystal clear today. See, isn't that crazy how that works? Now, what you may see is like my eyes look like a puffy mess. It is windy here in Las Vegas, and it has been windy for like the last 3 days, and we have been working out in the yard, and this morning I moved a bunch of stuff into my storage pod, and so I'm like, I feel all blown up. So anyway, okay, awesome. Well, today is going to be going through some eBay stores and doing kind of a critique review. We have willing volunteers for this. And I tried to pick stores that I knew the information that I would give is going to help a lot of you. So don't think just because, I'm not reviewing your store that you can't apply these same things that I'm going to talk about. Because there's some general things that I see over and over again that sellers do that if they change just a little bit, just a little few things, you can actually improve your sales. Somebody was walking their turtle at the park. What? That's awesome. Oh, mine have been so active. So for those that don't know, I have 3 tortoises, and I think, how do I put this? So I was looking up this behavior that one of them was doing, which was like trying to crawl. They're in pens that are wood-sided, so they can't see out, because if a tortoise can see out of its enclosure, it wants to get out, and then they get into trouble. So we have this solid wood panels. Well, he's like climbing up these solid wood panels. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And well, when I went and did a little Google search, what I found out is this is a behavior of hormonal males. So I guess we're getting a little confirmation that our tiny is a boy. Now we'll see. I think they're both boys. Both of the bigger ones are boys, but they don't mature until they're like 4 to 5 years old, and they are right about there now. Yeah, I think they're like 4.5 years old. So I guess we're going to find out really soon. And no, they do not live together. So we don't make any tortoise babies. It's actually illegal. And they are solitary creatures. They do not like company. They want their own space and territory, except in breeding season. So there you go. There's your little tortoise lesson of the day. But we are having a blast with them. Yes, the birds are very, very, very active. So we have this big, giant back covered patio. So we took advantage of that space and hung bird feeders and hummingbird feeders all along it. So we got birds galore come onto the patio, and our inside birds talk to them all day and just love it. So yes. I mean, that's with the door closed too. That's how loud they are. All right, well, let's jump into it. So one of the first stores that I picked was, oh wait, let me make sure they're here first. I think I saw them. Yep, okay, good, good, good. We have the store of Vintage and Vino, and Jerry's over there. I think is that you, Jerry, over in the chat? I'm pretty sure it is. And let me share my screen. There we go. So when you go to Vintage and Vino's eBay store, this is what you see. And I'm going to put this full screen. There you go. So you can see it as much as possible. You guys can still hear me, right? I just want to make sure. Make sure you can still hear me. And the name of their store is Vinny's Vault. So I'm going to talk about this with all the stores that I'm going to look at today. We're going to get to at least 2, possibly 3, maybe even 4. So I've got some picked out. We'll see what we can do. So this is the first thing that I've seen, the first image that I see. So when you're developing your eBay store, it's important to know that if you are marketing your eBay store, this is the first impression when somebody clicks over. Now, I know, and let me just bring myself back here for a minute. I know that Vintage and Vino get a lot of stuff other than hankies. So this is going to be my first piece of advice. And again, this is not super critical. This is not something you have to do like, oh my gosh, if I don't get this done, my sales are going to come to a stop kind of a thing. This is like, put it on your list of things that will help things be better, but it's not like an emergency, okay? But I want everybody to know this, that your store is, it's your brand, okay? So you actually are building a brand. Now I love your little icon. Let me pull that up. See this little thing right here? Oh, I love that. It's beautiful. But I think the image above does not truly represent what it is that you sell, which is vintage, antique, collectibles, all of that stuff. This just shows me, hankies. So somebody might actually think, oh, they just sell linens. So you always have to be thinking, like, you are familiar with yourself and what you sell. You know what you sell. But remember, somebody who absolutely knows nothing about you is coming over to your store. Now, I do love that you used this area here to actually fill in some things here. And yes, I know you do have a YouTube channel. Now, I will tell you, I don't promote my YouTube channel from my eBay store. And the reason for that is that, well, I'm showing everybody what I'm paying for this stuff. And those that watch my channel, come to my live sales, you guys are cool with that. You understand I'm running an auction. I can do that. But you need to be careful. The average eBay buyer is not as forgiving of the markups. I just put it that way. There's a lot of people who shop and think that you should be selling it for close to what you paid for it. So that's something you want to be careful. Like, this may not be the place to market your YouTube channel. This, I would say, is more the place to explain to them what it is that you sell. You know what? Let me do something real quick. Stand by. I'm going to show you my store and how I utilize that space. That might help. Okay, I'm gonna bring that back. So here is my store. And now what you can see is I have used this area here for keywords. And I have to be honest, eBay has not been very transparent about the changes they've made over the years when it comes to how much this helps our store get traffic. It used to be this was super important, but now it's more just this is your place to compel people to go down more and look at your listings. So make it keyword rich. Once you do discover that thing that's going to be like your niche that you're selling, and I truly need to update mine. I used to be very, very glass centric, and I still sell a lot of glass, but I've broadened those horizons a little bit. So I actually need to reword mine. But you can see I've filled that all up. Yeah. So, and some of the stores we're going to look at don't have anything there. So this is a marketing opportunity. This is a place to promote what people are going to see inside the store when they go in there. Think of it as you're walking through a mall and you've got all these shops on both sides, and you see a shop that in the window it's like, oh wow, that really entices me over there. And then they've got some like, wording around stuff that pulls you in more. So that's what this is. This is the pull them into your store area. Okay. So yeah, and some of you talking about how to make this at Canva? Is beautiful. I use Canva for so much stuff, canva.com, and it's free. I pay for the pro version because I make a lot of thumbnails and do things, so it makes sense for me. But for the average person, the free version is amazing, and you can do everything you need to do with it. Yeah. Yeah, it's canva.com. No S on the end of it, just canva.com. Yeah. Okay, so there's that. Let's go back. So we are back now in your little store. So now the featured items, again, that's an area that I don't utilize because you guys ever heard of above the fold when it comes to marketing and web pages and the like? So what you see here right now, that's called above the fold. And anytime you have to make somebody scroll down, it's more likely that they're going to leave the page. So the featured items to me is for stores that are maybe like specializing in, let's say I sell shoes and I specialize in, like, I got these great Nikes that I really want to sell, kind of that sort of thing. But if you don't know what your customer's really coming over for, this can be actually going against them shopping more. So just keep that in mind. We are like the most fast-paced, I want to see it now, I'm bored with it already kind of society. We have to hold their attention. Like every second counts for holding that attention. Okay, so you may want to not do the featured items. You want them to get right into your store. Now, I've already sorted this by newly listed, but the default that eBay shows people is best match. So it never hurts to go over there sometimes and take a peek and see what the best match is showing people. And it's like, okay, this is good. It's got a nice variety. But for the sake of what I'm going to talk about, we have to do newly listed. And a lot of buyers, where am I? A lot of buyers that will become regular followers of your store are going to sort by newly listed. I'm just saying. Right. All right. Okay, so here's the first thing I'm going to say. This, I don't know. I don't know if we can be friends anymore because you listed a turtle and you didn't tell me. I'm just kidding. But I did find it funny. I say, oh my gosh, they got a turtle. I don't have that one yet. So might have to talk. Um, so I noticed coming in here, some of your items have best offer, some of your items do not. And I don't know if that was just kind of missed it when you were listing, but I would go for consistency. I personally think if you're going to do best offer, if it's going to be your thing, then put it on everything. You want, I know, shame on her, right? You want best offer on everything, or if you're not going to use best offer, then don't have it on anything. It's a consistency in what people see. Loy says, I'm not sure that I agree with your logic on the featured items. That's okay though. I use mine Etsy for seasonal promotion. Etsy's a whole nother animal. We're talking eBay. Etsy is more, well, the Etsy stores are more niched. Etsy is really known for the crafty stuff. And I don't know if you're doing crafty or if you're doing vintage over on Etsy, but everything you list on Etsy is going to be vintage. So it's different. It's a different clientele, and it's just a different lay of the land. So for Etsy, I can't tell you, I haven't studied Etsy for a while, but for eBay, I'm going to hold true to what I said. Okay, let's go back. Okay, I want to look at something real quick. So what I want to do, I'm going to go inside one of your listings, and I'm going to go to see other items, and I still want to go to your newly listed. So I'm going to look May, April 29th. Look at you go. Daily listing. And just, this is cool. So we've been running a listing challenge over on the Facebook group too. All right, so I'm seeing a few gaps. I'm seeing some places where, you've got like a bunch here on the 26th, and then we get them up here, and you took like 2 days off. So my advice for that is to schedule. Like, however many listings, like make your drafts, and then like if you're done listing for the day, you go, okay, I can't do any more today. Then I would count them up and divide them out by however many days you think it's going to be until you can list again. And the reason you want to do that is that daily listing flow is really, really good for the eBay algorithm. eBay loves that. Actually, YouTube loves that. Google loves that. For those of you who have stores outside of one of the venues, consistency is one of the things that the search algorithms really, really look at strongly. I can't stress that enough. Now, the cool thing with scheduling is if you get in there and you make a bunch more drafts and you go, oh, okay, well, I can get more. You can launch them anytime. Just because they're scheduled doesn't mean that you can't make them go live whenever you want. So, and that also then avoids the 10-cent fee, because there is a 10-cent fee for scheduling. So that's, even if you do go in and launch all of your scheduled listings, you'll never get charged, but at least if you're not there to get them up, boom, it'll put them up for you. Awesome. Yes, I'm doing that now. That's why it looks consistent recently. Yay. All right. I'll sense the challenge. That's why we're running that. That's why, we have a moderator group over there. There's about 15. I haven't counted lately. We have about 15 moderators, and we put our heads together. Those of us are in the group every day, like trying to help people. We see the questions, we see the problems, we see all the things going on, and we go like, what can we do? Like, what can we do to make this better? How can we help them more? So, and that's where the listing challenge was born out of. It's a push to get people to list 2 items a day, just 2 items a day. And then you get to post one of those items in the thread of the day over on the group. So it gets some attention, it gets some of that engagement that eBay loves. And when you get that engagement, then eBay is going to show it to more people, and then hopefully you make the sale. Hopefully you make the sale. There's only a charge for scheduling if the scheduler launches the listing, and then it's 10 cents. And here's what I have always said about that. to people who go, oh, but it charges me. If your item is not worth an extra 10 cents, you might want to consider whether it's worth listing in the first place. I'm just saying. So it's just 10 cents to make sure that you're consistently listing. Let's see. Glad you touched on this. I've been told have an active store doesn't mean you have to list every day, but do something in your store. So is it better to list every day? It's absolutely better to list every day. It is absolutely better to have fresh content. Now, here's the reason fresh content is important, because these little algorithm bots, they know what you've already listed. They know the words you've already used. When you put fresh in there, it excites them. Like, we want to excite the bots. And it's also why I'm very much about niche. And niche doesn't mean like you pick one humdrum thing to sell all the time. That's not niche. Niche is simply knowing your customer base. And when you list things that draw that customer base into your store, and now they like what they see across the board, I mean, you could put the occasional oddball thing in there, but consistently having a genre of things that your ideal customer is going to want to come in there and browse and fill their shopping cart with is also exciting to the algorithm. People coming in on one item and shopping around for more items in your store, that's exciting to the algorithm. So that's the things we have to remember in getting more traffic, and not just traffic for the sake of traffic, but traffic that has the potential to result in conversion, which is an offer or a sale. That's what we want. That's what we want. But if you relist or sell similar and change the title a bit and picture, that should be considered fresh too. Yes, I do sell similar. I never hit relist. I always hit sell similar and change it up, because that's, yes, that is fresh content. So you can take that old stuff, but if you're using the same pictures, see, it knows that, because those pictures have a file name that's already been used. And if you're going to go through the whole process to go in and change a file name and all that, like, I'd say your time's better spent just running a clearance sale on older items to push them through. That's how I don't do any relists or and sell similar. I don't do that. What I do is I market, clearance, liquidate older stuff, focus on listing newer stuff that has more potential to sell. Because time is so valuable. I mean, to me, like, time is one of the most precious things I have outside of my living creatures and children. So time. Yes. Cool. Yeah, because most of you are not in a position where you don't have anything to list. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, that would be a circumstance of using the sell similar and redoing a listing, like back when Cousin Rona like put everybody locked down in their houses and the thrift stores were closed. It's like, oh, okay, what if I don't have anything fresh? Okay, then that makes sense to spend your time on that. But I'm pretty sure most of you are sitting there with a profit pile, and it's definitely not going to sell if it's not listed. So put your energy into that stuff that's not yet represented versus going back to stuff that's already there, that possibly by listing that new item, they go find that other item. That happens all the time. I can't even tell you how often that happens too. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Time management is still my nemesis. I am still trying to work out time management. Believe me. It's a lot of times though, it's like really just prioritizing. Like, how important is this? How bad do you want it? How much are you willing to sacrifice someplace else so that you can make the money you need to make with your sales business? I know sometimes that's hard to hear, like, but it's the truth. Okay, let's go back to this store over here. Okay, so now I'm going to touch on title. I want to look at one thing here. Let's look and see. I'm going to go over here to sold listings. Let's see what you sold. So you sold an item today. I really like your earring display, little mannequin chicky-doo there. That is very cool. That makes for a nice picture. Then we got one on the second, one on the first. Look, pretty consistently, like one sale a day from the time you started listing consistently. Is that about right, Jerry? That's what I'm seeing. You said you started the challenge, and now look, we've got at least one sale a day. And I know one sale a day is not where you want to be. It's not really where anybody wants to be. But let's go back. You do only have 374 listings. And I know that seems like a lot, but it's really not a lot. So as you get more listings up, you're going to see more sales per day because there's bigger quantity of merchandise for them to buy. Yep. Okay. So you're seeing it. You're seeing it. Yeah, we don't call them death piles. We call them profit piles. Death pile is such an ugly word. But still doing better on Etsy, probably because you're putting more energy into Etsy. I mean, it's really, when you go multi-channel, there is going to be one channel where you put the most energy and the rest do suffer a bit. I find that to be true. Okay, I'm reading over here at the comments before we move on a little bit. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is titles. So let me just say this. I have a little formula here. It's the 3 P's of a desirable listing. So there's 3 reasons that the item may or may not be selling. Price, pictures. Why did my brain just... My brain's doing that a lot. It's the low thyroid fog. It's like popularity. Wow, there it is. It's my formula, and I couldn't remember the 3rd P. Oh my gosh. Price, pictures, popularity. So what I mean by that is obviously people are price driven. So that's going to be one of the first things. In their head, they're going to say, can I afford this? Okay, once they get past the can I afford this, then they're like, is this a good price for the item? And people do shop around now. So if you are on the higher end of things, like I do, and what I recommend, you have to make sure the value is showing itself above other sellers that they might see. So one of the ways to do that is pictures. Pictures are so super important. Pictures speak 1,000 words, and that holds true in e-commerce more than anything else. So that would be the next little piece of advice I have for your store, is to get yourself a plain white background. I mean, I can see your items just fine. It's not a problem seeing your items, but you know, and I know you're in the group too, you know how much people are using Google search, Google image to find things. And there's people using that for shopping as well. eBay technology is using that for shopping as well. So the plain white background is super important, super, super important, because this right here may not come up if somebody does an image search for this item because of this break here. This doesn't contrast to showing that this is the item in question. You can't see what my hand's doing because I'm not on full screen, but trust me, I'm pointing at it. Let's see. You guys are talking about Etsy. If Etsy's working for you, that's fantastic. Your time management is awful when doing research. Need to know how and when to get out of the rabbit hole. Yes, you do. Hung up a white shade on your wall to pull down. Oh, that's a fantastic idea. Yeah, no, I get it. I know we like to have, and for Etsy, and so here's the thing. If you are Etsy centric, and you're creating your listings for Etsy, I can see why this is happening over here. And that's one of the big contrasts between Etsy and eBay is Etsy is more, it's more like your, like a craft fair kind of vibe. It's like the vintage market kind of vibe. It's not the commercial selling site like eBay is. And so they're more forgiving of those pictures. The artsy pictures are encouraged. But I would even say if you are selling vintage over on Etsy, that in order to be picked up by Google search and all of those, the white background is important. So, I mean, at least have one image on the white background so you can use that for eBay. So maybe you have like a roll up thing over this, take the one white, roll it up and take the rest of your pictures of the item. That's a thought if you still want to have kind of that look. But it is really important for, and again, we got robots in there that are doing all this. It's not even robots. It's digital bots. I don't even get how it works. I just know it's working. I just know some programmer programmed some weird little code thing to go and look through that listing, and that's how it works. Like Etsy, Posh, Depop, big on backgrounds. eBay, Mercari, more Google focused white background. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I do use a black background on a white item, but you don't want to use a black background unless you have to for that contrast. Even then, like for glass, and I haven't done this for a while because I haven't really found a whole bunch of glass to list, but like the American Brilliant, the way we do it is you take it on the white background and then you apply like a filter that, and I don't know the name of it, but it pops out the clear glass and grays out the background, and that seems to work really well too. Yep. Yes, there are apps. Well, that's true too. You know, I just forgot. Yes, you're right. So on eBay, there's actually, not everybody can see it yet, I don't think, but eBay's rolling out an app. It's like right there, you can edit the picture and white out the background. eBay's building that right into the listing flow. So you do have that you can do for your gallery picture. So you can use all of your pictures that you created for Etsy, and then just on that gallery one, just edit that one picture right there on eBay. That's true. Yep. Yeah, I forgot about that. You notice I'm kind of stuck on the turtle here. All right, so couple little things. So when you're creating your titles, write your titles like a title, meaning the first letter of each word capital. It just looks professional. I know it's easier not to do that, especially if you're like using voice to text maybe. But appearances wise, and now I'm talking to those of you who really want to ramp it up. You want to stand out over other sellers. These are the little things that you can do to make yourself look more trustworthy to buy from, add more value psychologically. It adds more value if a customer sees a professionally produced listing. So those are the things to keep in mind. And then look at how you're phrasing your titles. Like, is this how a customer would search for this item? And we're going to go heavy into titles here, both in this store and the next one I'm going to show you too. So your titles are what bring the search result to the customer. This is why this is critical. There's, I don't know the number. It's hundreds of thousands of eBay sellers now. It's a big, big number. There are, I don't know if it's millions or billions of listings now. So you've got a lot of heavy competition out there to just have the bots find your item and bring it in front of the potential customer. So this is where the title comes in. It's not even so much, you know, that it looks nice or any of that. It is so that when a person searches for the item and your title matches that, what they call relevancy, the closest, eBay's goal is to get a sale. That's where they make money. So they're going to bring the results to the customer that is as relevant as possible. Now, do they get it right all the time? Of course they don't. But they are working harder and harder on doing just that. Oh, yes, please. Nobody use all caps in your titles. Let's see. That my moderators get to use all caps over when they're talking. So the 3 Ps, price, picture, popularity. This is true. Okay, so abalone and lacquer Japanese locking jewelry box. Is that how somebody is going to look for that item? And I'm going to pull it up here. Let's take a look. Oh, that's very nice that you did that. Abalone and lacquer. Would somebody, is that how they would search? And I'm not saying they would or wouldn't. I'm kind of questioning it. I'm going, is that how they would search? So let's go do a search. You know what? Let's pull up another. I have some bookshelves being delivered. I thought I saw them just pull up. Okay. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. There we go. Let me go back. Okay, so this is the item I'm looking at. This is the title. This is the item that we've got here. It is gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is if I am a customer, I'm going to put in abalone box. It's 2 words. Ooh, God. See, this is what I'm talking about. You have 2,000 results for abalone box. Oh, Nelly. So what we want to see is what's sold, not what's listed. So let's go on over here. And I want to see what is sold at the highest price, because we all know super cheap stuff sells. You don't have to do much to get super cheap. Our goal is to sell at the top price, not at the bottom price. So we always want to search and see the highest priced ones. I don't want a knife. Why are you showing me knife? Let's look in collectibles. Let me just narrow it down. Okay, this is better. Stop showing me knives. I want to see. Now, it's interesting because this seller used beautiful, and I will tell you, don't use words like beautiful, cute, et al., unless it is something you absolutely know that customers are searching. Vintage mod, Mexican abalone inlaid. Da, da, da. These are some crazy titles, guys. Shows you can sell this even with a crazy title. So the lacquer. So have you considered that this is a Mexican abalone? Mexican abalone shell jewelry. Let me go back and look at yours. Does yours say, okay, you have Asian writing on yours. Where's the bottom? I don't see a picture of the bottom. Did I miss it? Oh, there's the bottom. Okay, it's nothing on the bottom. Okay, so you know yours is Asian and not Mexican abalone. Let me look over the comments, because you're probably like screaming at me over here. Like, Daddy, look. I used mother of pearl in my listing, not abalone, when I sold one. This is definitely abalone, though. Yeah. That's the next thing I'm going to get to, Jerry. But I would probably, if it were me, I would change this title. And what I would do, let me just take a peek real quick. I'm going to put, now that we know it's Japanese, sorry for the scrolling. Japanese abalone box. Let's see what comes up. Now, what's interesting is I don't see like a super ornate one. I'm seeing all these lacquer ones. Let me go in all. Yeah, I'm going to say, you got something special. And okay, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. If you can't find another one like yours, that's a good thing. So that's where you don't want to go. Like, if in 5 minutes you have not found a similar one to yours, you've got something special. Price it up. And that's how you avoid going down that rabbit hole. Just price it up. Just boom. At least double what everybody else is selling theirs for and put the best offer on there. I mean, you know what you paid for it. And you can't go broke making a profit. So remember, time is money, because in that hour, 2 hours, 3 hours that you're spending researching that one item, how many more things could you have listed, and how much more profit in those listed items would you have made? I mean, unless the item that you're listing is worth that much, don't go down that rabbit hole. All right, so yeah, I would call this a vintage Japanese locking jewelry box, abalone and lacquer. I would put the abalone and lacquer at the end, because I think your buyer is going to be looking for the vintage Japanese jewelry box. So you putting the abalone and lacquer at the front can have eBay not put this item up in front of the person who's typing in vintage Japanese jewelry box. See the difference? See how that, you're still putting the words up there, but the order matters. The order matters. Well, yeah, and it's got that little Asian key. I mean, those are Asian symbols. So that's the lock is Asian. There's no doubt about it. That is not Mexican writing. So it is an Asian piece. And I would double the price. Here's the other thing. Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting to show the screen. I was showing this. The other thing that doubling the price on this will do is bring you to a different customer set. And this is something that I tell sellers all the time. If an item is not selling, before you lower the price, consider that maybe you need to raise the price, because there are people who shop on highest price because they don't want the cheap stuff. They feel confident that if they pay more, they're getting a better quality item. Whether or not that is the case, because we know people sell stuff too cheap all the time, but it's psychology. Sales is psychology. This is all psychology. And once you kind of learn all those little nuances about how buyer behavior works, this stuff is golden. I'm telling you, it works, it works, it works. Tiger thinks it looks Korean. Okay, okay. I know she said, don't even, okay, but even if somebody did run over and buy it right now, you'd make a little bit of heap of profit, wouldn't you? Because you priced it knowing you wanted that little heap of profit to begin with. So there you go. Perceived value is everything. Okay, let me just real quick, and we got to go on to the next store because it's already 1:45. So NOS, NIB, if you're going to use those acronyms, it's an acronym, right? Put them at the back end of your title, not at the front. Because again, we've got a mid-century Starco, Los Angeles, California, Cottonwood Ware, Rooster Farmhouse. I'm not even sure what it is here. That, I mean, I can see the picture, but this isn't telling me what I'm looking at, which is I'm going down to your description to find it. It's so it's salt, pepper, oil, vinegar. Like, what would you call that? What do you call that? I'd say mid-century oil and vinegar. Like, okay, so if I'm the customer looking for mid-century oil vinegar, let's see if there's even a set that comes up like, okay, this is cute. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, it kind of falls in there. All right. Yeah, that's I mean, I remember watching your video where you found this. So it's cottonwood wear. Oh, that's what, so you want the person who's looking for cottonwood wear. That's what we want. Cottonwood wear. We got 3 results. That's not even the same, is it? That's something different. Well, yours just come up first for that because there just isn't any. Oh, see, we've got to have a whole nother discussion about, there is no need to do a sponsored listing on this because you can see yours comes up multiple ways when we search for it because it's a one of a kind. So what I would probably do with this is put mid-century cottonwood wear rooster oil vinegar salt pepper set. And I wouldn't put the NOS, NIB, Los Angeles, California. I wouldn't put any of that. I'd put that down in your item specifics. See, you don't have any of that in the item specifics. So this is the last thing I'm going to touch on this store, and then I'm going to do the last one here. You want your item specifics filled out as much as possible, even when they don't give you the fields, create the field. Put all that information in there because those bots are looking for that relevancy, title, item specifics, and description. Especially when all those 3 things back each one up, that tells it, oh, this is a good listing to put in front of somebody. So that is super important too. Bree says she would lead with oil and vinegar. So many S&P out there. Yeah, it's a tough one because there's a lot of things there. I think I would put both. I would put the mid-century. Oh, I didn't see where the Starco came in. Are they marked Starco somewhere? Because maybe that. Oh, also I just notice on the box, cottonwood wear is all one word, and in your title it's separated. So be sure you make that all one word just like it is on the box. That can be super important. And then, I don't know, I'm thinking you could raise the price on that puppy too. I think we have to have a little price talk on your items here. Except for the turtle. Don't raise the price on the turtle, okay? All right. So you got some stuff to work with there on that, and I hope everybody else got some stuff out of that too. All right, I am going to go over to the next store. I think this is Marianne Porta. Are you here? Let me just make sure Marianne's here. Got to be here to play. Hey, Yvonne. Good to see you. I actually just got finished watching your little trip to the flea market. I love flea market videos. So, NIB, NWT, NW, etc. Told it's a waste of words. It's only a select few know those terms. Yeah. Unless you know it's something that the buyer is putting into search, don't use it. Don't use it in your description, but don't use it in the search in the title. Yeah. Okay. Is Ashley Watson a Nofrichuk here? Oh, Marianne's here. Wait, there's Marianne. Okay, Marianne. I gotcha. All right, Marianne, make sure I got the right store. Is this you? Four Corner Collectibles? I think I got my little list right. Yeah, it's so funny. So I multitask while I watch videos, literally, like anything that I don't need to be talking or listening, I'll put a YouTube video on of one of my friends' channels over, and I like go back and forth. It's probably not very good, but I love doing it because I don't want to miss any of them. Okay, good. We're in the right store. Now, what am I expecting to see when I come in this store? Like if you send me over to your store, what do you think I'm expecting to see? I'm expecting to see comic books. So let's go down here and see. Oh, wait a minute. I don't see comic books. So again, it's that same thing. That image that you use up here It is telling your customer, it's setting their expectation for what they're going to scroll down and find. So just keep that in mind. You're better off do like a little professional, and it doesn't have to be, you can be the professional in creating this, but set up some of the items that you find. Make a little vignette of items that you actually sell. Take some pictures of that to use up in there. And then, you can go over to Canva with that picture and you can add your store name and you can brand it and you can do all this stuff. And it's super easy. You don't have to be a professional to do it. You can upscale your store substantially with just doing a little bit of that stuff. Yeah, it's the window dressing. Yes. So then she did use this. Welcome to Four Corner Collectibles. We are an everything shop specializing in uniqueness. We are based out of one of the four corner states and can ship your collectibles to any of the four corners of the world. I love that. I love that. I'm not sure I would say we are an everything shop specializing in uniqueness. I think I would more say we are a shop that specializes in the unique collectible. Like when you say you're an everything shop, that cheapens you. That makes you more of an online yard sale than an online business. So just keep that in mind. And that doesn't mean you're going to sell more or less. That's a pricing thing. Like if you set yourself as like, this is my specialty shop, you can charge more. Specialty shops charge more and people expect to pay more. So we're all good there. So again, I'm going to go to your newly listed. Let's see what you got. Bluebirds of Happiness. So you're doing things on auction. So one of the things I would say, biggest piece of advice I would give is stop putting everything on auction. Use your fixed price format because an auction lasts for 7 days. And then you have to redo that listing. You have to relist it. So Google never gets a chance to get its teeth into it. The fixed price listings, you want those up 60 days minimum before you start messing around with them, because you got to wait until the Google bots and all of that start sinking into them. Some stuff is just long tail, some stuff is short tail, and that's just the way this collectibles market goes. Some stuff is going to sell, boom, it's going to fly off out the door because it's so desirable. Some stuff has to wait for the right collector. So the only things that I put on auction are, here's my criteria. Something that I just don't know what the value is because I've got the only one. And I think it could be worth a lot, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to start it where my gut tells me to list it in fixed price, but I'm going to start it there at auction just in case it's worth a lot more. Okay. Then I'm not going to have all that regret that I sold it too cheap if it, boom, sells, within an hour. Second thing is if I know what the value of an item is, but it's got a little bit of damage. And I'm not sure how much that damage has affected the end value of the item. So I will list a damaged item if it's a high-end item. I don't list damaged low-end items. So for a high-end item, and I mean like $100 plus, I will run a damaged item probably at half of what the perfect value would be. And then there's loss leaders, which doesn't super apply to the collectibles market. It's more of a commodity items, things that have a set market value and you want to attract people into your store. So you start one at 99 cents because you know darn well it's not going to end at 99 cents. There's no way the market's going to let it go there. So those are my 3 criteria for auction format. So that's going to increase your sales a lot is if you get out of that auction format for your items. And got about 5 minutes left, and I see, oh, my new girl that's coming to work for me is here. I'm so excited. So let's see what else. Titles are too long. Set for glass, bluebirds of happiness, family signed, Leo. Where again, Leo Ward, Bluebird of Happiness, set of 4. Boom. Call it that. Call it that. Okay. She is going to come to my gate and everything's happening. Everybody's showing up at once. My bookshelves just showed up too. Noah's got my phone, so hopefully he's answering it. American Brilliant, cut crystal, pedestal, compote, dish, flower. See, you're trying to throw the whole gamut of where you're throwing the net out, hoping to catch the fish when there is that specialty fish that you want, but you're trying to catch all these fish hoping that one comes in. And what you want to do is fine tune your bait to that fish that you are looking to catch. I mean, I like to talk in like metaphors like that, but really American Brilliant cut glass is the actual term. ABCG is what you want to use. American Brilliant cut glass. And that is where you can use the ABCG in your title. Those collectors will use that acronym. It is a pedestal, compote, dish. I probably would leave off the flowers, sawtooth, rim, and candy. Shorten it up. Shorten it up. Bohem, porcelain, seal, pup, figurine, sitting on bisque rock. Take that out. Take out the made in USA. Put that down in your item specifics. So it's a lot of some of the information I was already giving on the other one. So you can kind of just use that same criteria. Think about how would somebody type this into search. That's how you want to structure your title to have the most probability of it showing up. Okay, I'm going to leave this open to some questions here for the last 2 minutes, because then I have to go deal with everything that's happening outside right now. The one time that everybody shows up like early instead of, you know, when I'm sitting here waiting for people to show up, if they're 15 minutes late, 20 minutes late, everybody's early today. So you don't agree with the theory about eBay likes 11 words in title. Now, where did you ever hear that theory? I have never heard a theory that eBay likes 11 words in title. No, it is about relevance. If there are 11 words that are relevant to that item, by all means use them. But what I see sellers doing is trying to stuff that title with words just to use up all the characters. And that's no longer what you want to do. It is really, truly all about relevance. And you want to lead with the main thing, the maker, designer, brand, that main thing that somebody's typing in, what it is. So your first 5 words are like that's your gold right there. And then you can add things like the color or a shape or something like that if a customer is specifically looking for that. Can you go help him? Okay. Thank you. I've got 1 minute left. Do you do live sales on things other than jewelry? I do. So I switch off every other week. So this coming Friday is going to be my hard goods sale. And so I do jewelry 1 week and then I do because I have 2 shelves. And to set things up, that keeps me like I'm already setting up my hard goods sale before the jewelry sale even happens, so that I just switch over now and I'm good to go. And then the jewelry's coming over here and it's a beautiful thing. But thank you for asking. Can you point me in the direction of your video about selling in store or just selling? I'm not sure I have a specific video on that. I probably talked about it in one of my Monday Lives. Monday Lives is where we really get into the meat and potatoes of selling. Can we continue this same topic next week? Everybody else feel the same way? We can certainly keep going, and I can critique some more stores if you like. We have a thread over in the Niche to Profit Facebook group, and a whole bunch of people have put their stores in there. So yeah, I can pick a couple more stores and we can go through them. You betcha. So it's not important to use all the letters in the title. Nope, absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right, I'm getting summoned. Noah's going to help him, but I probably should end this for today. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Really appreciate. Thanks to the mods, kind of keeping track of stuff over there. Thank you to my dogs who are all barking right now. Not. It's getting a little crazy around here. Yeah, and this is something like, yeah, we'll keep talking about it. Just remember the 3 Ps. Price, which is the first thing that tends to bring people over. Pictures, and that price, whether it's high or low, because people will come look at the higher price stuff too. Then your pictures are what give value to that price that can set you above the other sellers. Hey, let's stop that right now. Chihuahuas, get them. No. And then popularity. Whether it sells or not is strictly going to be based on, are there 10 people looking for that item, or are there 10,000 people looking for that item, or is there one person that doesn't know they're looking for that item? So that's the speed of the sale. So with that, everyone, I'm going to leave you with that. Do some homework. How about I'm going to come take a peek at these same stores again next week after you've made some changes. Do some homework. And with that, everyone, go be profitable and make it fun. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.